Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be my first everyday makeup drawer video for 2021. I wanted to give you guys a look at all of the makeup products I will be using for January and February. I'm going to start doing these videos every other month again. Last year I think I did them seasonally, but I do want to switch it up and start rotating through my collection more. And when I do these videos, I include products I want to use up, products I haven't used in a while, and then also some new products I'm testing out that you'll probably see in upcoming videos over the next month or two. If you watch these videos regularly, you might see some repeat products, especially when it comes to base products, because I don't have a super large makeup collection in a lot of areas. My largest part would probably be eyeshadow palettes and lip products. So if you want to skip over certain sections of the video, I'll put timestamps in the description box below. Okay, let's start with primers. I actually don't have a lot of primers in my drawer right now. I did use up quite a few primers in 2020, so I just wanted to focus on a couple of the other ones that I had, and I am testing out one new one. So this first one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. I will sometimes use this product on its own and not go in with another primer and just go in with my foundation on top, but sometimes I'll go in with another primer to kind of target certain areas like my nose. But I love this product during the winter time. It's just very refreshing, and I feel like it just gives me the perfect amount of moisture without being too intense. So this one is a new primer. Flower Beauty sent me a couple of new products. I'm going to be reviewing some of them in an upcoming video, but I saw someone talking about this in a recent video, and I can't remember who, but it just sounded really interesting. This is their priming whip. I actually want to check out the texture of this. So you shake it up, and it's kind of loud, but let's see what it's like because it just sounds interesting. Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting it to come out so quickly. I was really just trying to get a small amount. So it kind of feels like a mousse, and when you rub it in, it does have a little bit of a moisturizing feel to it. Let me actually put this on my face. I don't have any makeup on right now. Okay, it feels like a very, very lightweight moisturizing primer. So I will use it in an upcoming video. I just thought it was something a little bit different and interesting, and I do like moisturizing primers, so I'm excited to put this one to the test. The only other primer that I have in here is this one from e.l.f. It's just the Poreless Putty Primer. This one is a little bit more of a smoothing primer, and sometimes when I use the Smashbox Primerizer, I feel like I just need something a little extra around my nose or if I'm dealing with a lot of texture, so this always comes in handy. Now, as for base products, I really haven't switched up my foundation routine a whole lot in the past few months. I tried a few new foundations in 2020, including the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation, which I do love. Typically, I'll use this one on its own if I want more of a full coverage look, but for the majority of 2020, I've been mixing it with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. I also like this one on its own if I want a little bit more of like a true medium coverage finish rather than a full coverage finish. This one is really, really moisturizing, but it lasts really well on my oily skin, and I find that that is not the case with a lot of hydrating foundations. So I love these two either together or on their own. Ever since I tried the Pretty Fresh foundation, I haven't been reaching for the Tinted moisturizer as much, but I still really like this product, so I did want to keep it in my drawer just on days where I want something really, really lightweight. And then I also have the Bite Beauty Changemaker foundation. I haven't worn this one a whole lot lately. I think I actually got it around this time last year, so I'm just excited to try it out again. I feel like it might be a little bit too dark for me, but I will give it a shot and see if I can make it work. As for concealer, I did use up the Milani concealer, which has been my favorite for pretty much all of 2020, so I wanted to pull the Too Faced Born This Way concealer out again. I really like the formula of this one. It's a little bit more satiny than the Milani one, but I feel like that will work really well for me during the winter time, so I will probably be mainly focusing on this one. And then I also have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh concealer. I have two different shades. I have Fair 15W and Light 45W. Typically, I just mix those two shades together to get the perfect color for me. And again, this is a very moisturizing concealer. This one is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. I don't know, I feel like this formula is a little bit more moisturizing than I remember it being. I tried it a long time ago, and then I repurchased it a few months ago and tried it out again, and I do like it. I don't feel like it is a super full coverage concealer. It's just good for everyday wear. It blends out well, it stays in place pretty well, so I've just been enjoying this one. So as for powder over here, I just have my Too Faced Peach Perfect powder, which is my favorite. I love this one all year round. It's kind of my go-to, so I just always keep that in my drawer. And then I'm actually testing out a new one. This was a recommendation from a few of you guys. It's from the brand Pacifica. This is the Cherry Velvet Matte Translucent Setting Powder. So a lot of you guys said this is actually a good dupe for the Too Faced Peach Powder, but I think that this one smells like cherry. And I haven't tried a lot of products from Pacifica, but I always get recommendations to try this one. So I decided to pick it up and I will definitely give it a shot. The other loose powder I have in my collection is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This one is in the shade Light. I typically use this as like a diffusing powder all over once I do my makeup, or I will use it to highlight my under eyes. It's replaced the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Setting Powder in the shade Diffused Light. So if you typically use that one, this shade might work well for you, but they do have darker shades as well. The last powder I have in here is just the Urban Decay Stay Naked The Fix Setting Powder. This shade is a little bit light for me. It's in the shade 20YW, but I feel like I can make it work. I have been using this as a powder foundation, which is what it's meant to be used as. When I first got it, I was using it as a setting powder, and I didn't like it. And then this year, my whole makeup routine has completely changed. So a lot of the time when I am going out, I'll just like quickly throw this on to kind of hide any redness and also keep my skin matte, because if I don't have any makeup on, my skin still gets pretty oily. And I've just been loving the texture of this product. It stays in place well. It keeps my skin matte. So I've been enjoying it. I think after I use it up, I might try a different powder foundation. I do want to try the Fenty one, but I do like this one. Okay, so let's talk about cheek products. I kind of cut down on cheek products because in the past when I've done these everyday makeup drawer videos, I include so many products and it's hard to use all of them. And I really want to make sure I get good use out of everything in the drawer. So right now I just have 2 bronzers, and they're bronzers I know that I love, but it will be nice to use them. So the first one is this one. It is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, or what is this? Too Faced Chocolate Gold Bronzer. Mine is looking rough, but that's because I use it so often. It's kind of my go-to bronzer right now. It does have a little bit of a weird texture to it, but it still applies really nicely and it blends really well on the skin. It does have a slight hint of shimmer, but I don't know. I don't really notice it as much as when I first got it. I think there might have been like a pretty intense overspray on it. And now I just like it because it's smooth, it looks good, it's just easy to use. I also have this baked bronzer from Milani. This one, again, is just like a very effortless bronzer to use. It looks pretty natural on the skin. I feel like it tends to be a little bit light for me during the spring and summer. Actually, I can't remember when I got this. I think I got it last summer, so it does seem to work well for me during the winter time. It's a little bit more orangey than I typically like to wear, but it's just easy when I'm doing like a quick everyday look. I put this one in my drawer last time. It's from Fenty. It's one of their Kilowatt Foil Freestyle Highlighter Duos. It comes with 2 different shades, so it comes with Sandcastle and then also Minted Mojito, and I have been wanting to wear more colorful highlighters. That's not something that I've really done a lot in the past, but BH Cosmetics released this really pretty highlighter palette, and I said in my purchase or pass video, I wish I wore colorful highlighters, and I don't know what's stopping me. Why not give it a shot? So I have this really pretty blue one. I have been wearing this kind of like as eyeshadow. Like I'll top a blue look with this, or even like a purple look, but I do want to wear it more as an actual highlight. I know these duos were on sale, so if this one is still on sale, I'll link it in the description box below if you guys want to check it out. I do have another duo. This is the Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust Duo Blush in Raw Honey. So I did talk about this either in a disappointing products video or a favorites and fail. I think the reason why I'm mainly disappointed in it is just because it is so subtle. And I do like subtle cheek products, so this does work fairly well on my skin if I build it up. But I just feel like it takes a lot of effort, and for the price, I think that it should be a little bit easier to use. I do still wear it. It wasn't so disappointing that I felt like I needed to declutter it or return it because I can make it work for me. I just kind of mix the shades together and build it up with a little bit more of a dense brush. But I would say if you have a darker skin tone or you prefer really pigmented cheek products, you might want to skip over this one. It just doesn't even look that great on the skin. I actually just got this highlighter in the mail from Buxom. I was going to purchase this because I thought the color was really pretty, but they did send it to me in the mail as PR. So this is their Wanderlust Glow highlighter in the shade White Russian. So they came out with an entire White Russian collection, which is based on like one of their best-selling lip glosses. This is actually a really pretty highlighter. I did wear this yesterday for the first time. Let me actually swatch it for you guys. Okay, here is a swatch of it. I feel like the lights are maybe washing it out a little bit, but it is a lighter pearly shade with a little bit of a pink hint. And I've been wanting another pink highlighter for a while because I used to love pink highlighters. I will say that this one feels a little bit dry in the pan when you swatch it, and I don't know if it looks as nice swatched as it does on the skin, but I applied it with a brush yesterday and it looked really, really pretty. And then I actually do have a pink toned highlighter in my collection. This is the Becca highlighter in the shade Rose Quartz, and I do like this one. I feel like the Buxom one, I like the texture a little bit better, which is weird because I do like the Becca highlighters, but for some reason this just doesn't apply as nicely as Opal or Champagne Pop. It might be getting a little bit older because I have had it for a few years at this point, so that could be the problem, but I thought I would throw it in my everyday makeup drawer and decide for sure. The only other cheek products I put in my drawer are these new blushes from ColourPop. So I used to really like the ColourPop Super Shock blushes, and then I kind of went through this phase where I didn't like them because I didn't really like any sort of cream cheek product, and the majority of the time I do prefer powder products, but I did get these in the mail as PR, so I decided to try them out. Well, I tried out this shade and I love it. These are part of their like wine and only collection, which is sold out. I'm hoping they restock it because there are some really good products in that collection, but these just applied nicely. I've been using the ColourPop contour brush to apply them, and I feel like that's perfect. You can build them up, and this is kind of like what I hoped the Melt Cosmetics Digital Dust blush was going to look like. I feel like this color is similar to the Melt blush, but it just applies a little bit better, and it gives your skin like such a pretty natural glow, and I've just really been enjoying it. So I have this shade, and then there are two darker shades. Actually, I believe I read online that these are existing shades, or they were available at one time. I think they've discontinued them since then. This one is in the shade Cruel Intentions, and this is a matte formula. And then this one is Cheerio, and this one is actually a pearlized formula as well. Let me swatch these for you just in case they do restock it and you are considering one of these shades. So the darker one is Cheerio, and it is in a pearlized finish, so it does have a little bit of a sheen to it. And then the lighter one is Cruel Intentions. This one is in a matte finish. I'm sorry, I am having trouble with my camera focusing today. I need to get a different lens because this one is not great for close-up videos, and I probably just need to upgrade my camera as a whole. I'm sorry, I cannot get it to focus, but hopefully it will just give you guys an idea of what it looks like. Okay, so let me show you the eyeshadow palettes I'm going to be focusing on during January and February. Let's start with the ColourPop one. So I just have the ColourPop That's Taupe palette in my drawer because this has just been one of my go-to palettes in general. It's such a nice option if you do very simple, cool-toned looks. The shadows blend really nicely, and I just love all of the colors in here. I know it was out of stock for a long time, but I'm pretty sure it's actually back in stock, so I'll link it in the description box below, along with anything else in case you guys want to check out the products. This one is the Nude Mood palette from ColourPop. This one just has like a bunch of staple warm-toned neutrals, and I haven't been using this one as much as That's Taupe, just because during the winter I tend to wear a lot of cooler tones, but I do really enjoy this one as well. It's just very, very easy to work with. I did get this collection in the mail as PR. I've been testing it out. I'm going to include it in a video that should be up on Sunday because I want to do some like speed reviews on the products I've been using, and I cannot stop wearing this one. So typically around this time of the year, I love to wear like pinks and purples and berries, but this palette is so blendable, just really, really easy to work with. It doesn't have any pressed glitters in it, which is nice, and I feel like the metallic shades are perfect because you can switch up the look a little bit. Now it is more of a monochromatic palette, so overall the looks do end up looking pretty similar on the eyes, but I feel like the metallics in here are nice because you do get like a lighter, almost champagne color, some berry tones, and then also a brown. This has been sold out, so if it is back in stock, I'll link it below, but I hope they do restock it because I just feel like this is a nice, small, simple palette, but it's a lot of fun to use. I actually haven't used this palette yet just because when I got it in the mail, I was kind of focusing on other products. I love the packaging of this entire collection. It's just one of the prettiest collections they've done, and it is more of a neutral palette, but what I like about these palettes that they did like 3 of them, is the fact that they're a little bit more saturated. A lot of ColourPop's palettes tend to be on the lighter side, which is nice if you wear more simple, natural looks, but I feel like they've been switching it up and doing deeper palettes like these, and then also the Wine and Only palette, so I'm excited to use this one. I just love the brown tones. It's not too warm toned or too cool toned. I feel like it just kind of falls right in the middle. I also got this one, so I wanted to test it out and share a review on it, so that should be up soon. And this is the Menage a Moi palette. This was part of their holiday collection, but I do feel like it is a fun option for like Valentine's Day if you like to wear pinks. They do have a lot of pink toned palettes, but I feel like these shades are maybe a little bit more approachable than a super intense palette like the Ooh La La palette or even the Bye Bye Birdie palette. And then this was their Valentine's Day palette last year. It is the All That palette, and I just love this one. I feel like, I don't know, when you look at it, it doesn't necessarily look like anything super special. If this didn't have a red background, if it just had like a plain neutral background, I probably wouldn't have even given it a second look, but I am so glad that I did because you can do a lot with this palette. You can do something really light if you stick with the top row, something a little bit more medium toned with the middle row, or go really dark and vampy with this row. I think if you have this, you could probably skip over Wine and Only. This is what they look like next to each other. So Wine and Only is obviously a deeper palette overall. So if you do prefer darker shades or you have a darker skin tone, this one is going to be more ideal. This one has like that top row of lighter shades, but I do feel like some of the matte shadows are kind of similar. This one kind of looks like this one. They're definitely not the same, but if you don't wear these shades a whole lot, I would say you could probably choose one or the other. Like I said, this one has been out of stock, so I don't know if they did restock it, so All That could be a good alternative, especially if you like those lighter shades. The only thing is this one does have one pressed glitter, so keep that in mind if you don't like pressed glitters in palettes. This one is the Buxom White Russian palette. I did get this one in the mail as PR. I actually wasn't going to buy this one just because I feel like I could probably replicate this with other palettes in my collection, but I wanted to test it out and do a review because it does include 2 of the Wanderlust primer infused blushes, so I wanted to see if the formula was just as good as the singles. And then it has been a while since I've used Buxom's eyeshadows, so I will definitely include it in my upcoming speed reviews video once I get a chance to use it a little bit. I also included my Natasha Denona Love palette, which was their Valentine's Day palette last year. I just think it's so pretty. I love the pinks, I love the purples, and I kind of want to incorporate like this red tone in a few looks as well because reds, I don't know, they kind of intimidate me, so I feel like it could be fun to push out of my comfort zone a little bit, but this is one of my favorites. And then I just have the Glam palette. I didn't have this last year when I got the Love palette because it just came out a few months ago, but I feel like it could be fun to use alongside of the Love palette as well. I actually have one more product. I think I got this in a BoxyCharm. I haven't tried any Huda Beauty eyeshadows yet, and I do love purple eyeshadow, so I decided to keep this one to try out. I've heard really good things about these, so I'm excited to use this, especially those like center shimmer shadows. They just look really nice. So this will be a good chance to try out the brand and see if I want to try any of the other palettes. And then I also have a bunch of ColourPop Super Shock shadows. I love the Super Shock shadows so much. I kind of rediscovered my love for them in 2020, and I've been wearing them so often, and I'm so glad they're still creating new shades. So these were part of the new Wine and Only collection, and then these were part of the Raw Beauty Kristi collab. And then the ones that come in the pink packaging were part of a like vault for the holidays, and they still have it if you guys are interested in trying them. These are just the perfect texture. They're so pretty, and I just don't have anything like this in my collection. So as far as single shadows go, I love to use these, but I just think they are so pretty. And whenever I'm doing an eyeshadow look and it's just not as vibrant as I want it to be, I always reach for one of these. I just moved my camera a little bit, so I'm sorry. You can see my microphone right here, which is this fuzzy thing if you're wondering, and then some cords back there because I have it plugged in, but I just wanted to give you guys a look at the other eye products that I'll be using. So I do have 2 eye primers. The first one is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. The second one is the Hourglass Veil Primer. These are just the 2 that I've had open for all of 2020, so I'm working on using them up. The Urban Decay is kind of my staple. I do like the Hourglass one, but I pretty much use them interchangeably. So as for mascara, I have the Urban Decay Lash Freak. This is kind of my go-to when I want super dramatic long lashes. The brush is kind of weird. This is a little bit of a high maintenance mascara. It's a super wet formula, so it takes a lot of time to dry down, but it builds really nicely. And if you have really short lashes and you just like the look of really long dramatic lashes, this is a good option. I also have the Urban Decay Perversion open. I got this one as part of a holiday set. There was the Urban Decay Perversion and then also the Perversion Liquid Liner for like the price of one. So I decided to purchase it because it had been a while since I've used it, and I do like this one. It makes my lashes really, really long. I did get the new Bite Beauty mascara. Everyone has been raving about this. I've seen so many Instagram posts, YouTube videos, so I wanted to try it out for myself. They did send this to me as PR, but I think I would have purchased it anyway because I would want to see if it was worth the hype. I've only used it once, so I want to make sure I use it more to see if it is worth the hype, but I can say that it applies really, really well. It builds really well. I have trouble with some mascaras where they don't layer well, and because I like to have really dramatic lashes, I definitely want to be able to build it up, and you can get a ton of volume, a ton of length with this one. I don't know if it's as dramatic as the Lash Freak. I need to try it out a few more times, but it's not as clumpy as the Lash Freak. Like this one definitely has more of a separating factor. Again, I've only worn it once, so I want to make sure I try it out thoroughly before I review it, but I can definitely say that I see what the hype is about. I've had this one open for a while, so I feel like I'm kind of using it up. It's getting a little bit more dried out. It's from Ilia. It is their Limitless Lash Mascara. So I got this one in a FabFitFun box. I had never tried anything from this brand, but I really like this one. It has two different sides. So the shorter bristles are great at kind of like lifting and curling your lashes, and then the longer bristles are good for adding length. This is not like an overly voluminous mascara, so if you want more drama, you might want to go with the Lash Freak or the Bite Beauty, but this one is really nice for like everyday lashes, and if you want that length, then you don't necessarily need a ton of volume, and again, you want separation, you'll really like this one. And then I just got the e.l.f. Lash It Loud mascara, so I just placed an e.l.f. order for some of their new products, so I will be testing out some of their new products this month. I am using the new what is it called? Brow serum, which you can also use on your lashes. I'm just actually using it on my lashes. I want to use it for like 3 months before I do a review. So by then it might not be as relevant, but I feel like that's how long it usually takes for a serum to work. So anyway, here is the wand. I've only worn this one once as well. This one is not as good as building, or not as good at building as the Bite Beauty mascara, but this one is obviously a lot less expensive. I would say that it's a little bit more natural looking. If you don't necessarily like a dramatic mascara, you might like this one. It does a really good job at separating, but I just have a hard time building it up to get the drama that I want. So again, I just want to make sure I use this a few more times before I do a full review. For eyeliner, I have the Urban Decay Perversion, which is my favorite. It's just a really dramatic black liquid liner. I also have the one from the ColourPop Wine and Only collection. This one's in the shade Wine Not. So this one is a felt tip liner. When you swatch this one, it definitely has like a burgundy look to it. Like you can tell it's not a black or brown liner, but I noticed that when I wear this on top of eyeshadow, it comes off a little bit more brown or bronzy. So I think it might be more ideal to wear this just over like a matte shadow, or have this be like the focus of your eye look rather than pairing it with dark eyeshadow. If you pair it with light shadow, it will probably show up a little bit better, but I was using it with like a copper and I felt like it looked pretty on the eyes, but it definitely didn't look like this. It looked brown. I don't usually pull out like specific individual liners just because I have like a little container with all of my eyeliners in it, but I did want to try out this new Too Faced formula. These are the Killer Liners. They're supposed to stay in place for 36 hours, which is quite the claim, but I will say I wore this shade Killer Caramel yesterday, and when I was first applying it, I was like, I do not like this formula because it feels a little bit dry when you apply it to the waterline, but this stayed in place all day. I have really watery eyes, so a lot of eyeliner that I put in the waterline will kind of, you know, just come off by the end of the day or even within a few hours. This one did not move. So I feel like this could be a really good formula. I don't know. It's like one of those products that I just kind of wrote off before I even tried it, which I try not to do. But one of the main questions I always get is like, what eyeliner do you use in the waterline? Do you have any good recommendations? Typically, I use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencils or the ColourPop Cream Gel Liners. And I like both of those formulas, but I feel like this one might be a little bit more long lasting. So I'll keep you posted. I'll include these in my upcoming review video. As far as brow products go, I have this e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel. This one is almost gone. It was in my project pan and I pretty much used it up. So I need to repurchase this one. And then I also have my ColourPop Brow Boss Gel, which is the only other brow gel I actually have in my collection. I just kind of worked my way through whatever brow gels I had open. I like this one when I'm doing like quick and everyday natural makeup, but if I want my brows to stay in place all day long, I usually just want a little bit more of a long wearing formula. For brow pencils, I do have the Urban Decay Brow Blade, which is my favorite. I actually just got my mom hooked on this because she's been asking me for like a good brow recommendation, and I told her this one is perfect because you can, you know, draw on brows where you don't have them, and she loves it as well. So I do love this product. I've also been loving the Milani Weekend Brow. So if you've been wanting to try out the brow blade, like just the ink stain side, this is a really good alternative. It performs almost the exact same as the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I think it's just a matter of if they have a shade that will work for you, because the Brow Blade does come in quite a few shades. But I love this. It's so great at drawing on brow hair. I actually just used this yesterday without a brow pencil. Like typically I'll go in with a brow pencil and fill in the majority of my brow and then go in with a product like this. And I just used this because I wanted really natural looking brows, and I love it. It works so well on its own alongside of a brow gel or a brow pencil. I am testing out a new brow pencil. This is from Fenty. It is their Brow MVP. I have the shade medium brown, so I think I got this in a BoxyCharm. I haven't done BoxyCharm unboxing videos in a while. I still get it because they do send me one as PR. So if you want to see unboxings in 2021, let me know. If I was purchasing this myself, I probably would have gotten a darker shade, but I swatched it and it looks like it could work for me. And the formula seems nice, so I am excited to try it. It's not like an overly creamy formula, and I do prefer a little bit more, not of like a dry formula, but it feels like it could work, so I'll keep you posted. So let's finish up with the lip products. So I have the Fenty Gloss Bombs that I got in the holiday set this year, just up there, so I make sure to get some use out of them. So I have these lipsticks from the brand Propa Beauty. I've been hearing really good things about this formula. They are a Black-owned beauty brand. They have a lot of different shades of nude. A lot of brands just focus on like lighter nudes and pinky nudes, but Propa Beauty caters to all skin tones, so they have a lot of darker nudes as well. They're fairly affordable. I think they're like $12, and I got them on sale. And I think they have sales fairly often, so I got a couple shades. This is the shade Closer. Let me swatch them. They kind of have like a slight satin sheen to them. They're not like glossy lipsticks. They're not glossy lipsticks, but you can tell they have like a little bit of a sheen. This one is in the shade Victress, which is a little bit more orangey, slightly more warm. And then this one is in the shade Her Magic. So on me, this is probably going to pull a little bit more red toned. I have one more shade in the color Finesse. I can't find it. I have like one more box of makeup I need to go through. I just recently cleaned my room and reorganized my makeup, but I have a feeling it's in there. Finesse is like a lighter nude on me, so I do love that one for everyday wear, but I do like this formula. It's definitely worth checking out if you've been thinking about it. I have a few of these Buxom lipsticks. So I have the shade Goddess, which is one that I wear all the time. This one is like a light pinky nude. And I like this formula because it's meant to be a plumping formula. I don't find that it really plumps my lips, but it does look really smooth on the lips. And then I have the shade Fly Girl. I can swatch these too. I feel like this is the only way I can get my camera to focus, so I would hold it up closer. But on the top I have White Russian, which is their new shade. The center one is called Fly Girl, and then the bottom one is Goddess. These are a little bit more glossy, so if you like the look of a glossy lipstick, these are nice. Too Faced just came out with some new lip products. These are the Peach Bloom Lip Balms. So they kind of look like the new e.l.f. lip balms, where the center is like a different color. They're really cute. I haven't actually tried these. They're supposed to adjust based on your personal body chemistry. Products like that always pull very pink on me, so I wanted to see if these were a good option. And then I have tried these. These are the Peach Bloom Color Blossoming Lip and Cheek Tint. So they did send these to me. These are the only shades I decided to try. When I get PR, if it's something I want to try and review on my channel, what I've been doing is just pulling like 1 or 2 shades and then giving away the rest or donating them. I feel like that's just a good way to keep my collection in check and just create less waste overall. If I was to keep like all 5 shades of the lip balm and then all 4 shades of the cheek tints, there's a chance that next year when I did my declutter, I would declutter a lot of the shades that don't work for me. So now I'm just trying to be like very proactive and just pass products along that I know won't work for me right away. So anyway, I kept 2 shades. So this is a pinky kind of coral shade, and they have 2 like other pinks that are like bright pinks, and then this one is more of like a berry or a grape. This one is called Peach Glow, and the other one is called Grape Pop Glow. So these are interesting. I don't know, I kind of want to get into cream cheek products. I feel like I'm just very intimidated by them. I can't always find formulas that work for me. These are like an oily serum texture or like a gel texture. So they blend really, really well. They don't like sit on your skin like other cream products do in a heavy way. They're very lightweight and very glossy. So I kind of like them. Like yesterday I was just wearing very light makeup. I just applied concealer as foundation. So I just took a little bit of that and then I set my makeup like really lightly with powder and then went in with these, and they just look so healthy on the skin. And they're like multitasking products. You can use them on the cheeks or the lips. So that is everything inside my everyday makeup drawer for January and February. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I will be sure to do some reviews on these products, a couple of get ready with me, so I can actually demo a lot of the products and show you how they work. But I'm excited to try some new things and then also focus on what I have. I would love to know which makeup products you are focusing on during the months of January and February. Do you switch up your makeup seasonally? Do you use different products during the winter? Let me know. But I hope you guys have a great day. I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye.